Welcome back to another episode of Memory Lane Motorworks. I know it's been a while since I posted, and I'm sorry about that. I've been doing boring shop stuff nobody's interested in. So I'll get you up to speed on that after a while. Today, we are heading for a revival of sorts. My buddy Logan got a hold of me and said, I got this beautiful 72 Impala convertible. This was my grandpa's car. I took it to a car show last year. It was running fine. I took it home, parked it. I went on vacation for a couple weeks and came back. Tried to start the car, made a big bang, blew out the muffler. That's concerning. And it has not ran since. So today is the day to figure out why. Maybe we can get this thing running for him again. Let's dig in. Well, we're off-roading now. We're either going to end up at a guy's house or in the middle of a cornfield somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, try not to get their house. And we made it to the guy's shop. Here is his 1972 Chevy Impala. This thing looks in really nice shape. Probably way too nice a shape for me to be working on. But we'll give it our best go here. As you can see, this thing's got the old school Kragers on it. It is a convertible. And it looks like it's advertising a 400 small block, which it is confirmed it is a small block Chevy. This car is supposed to be all original. It's the original emission sticker. This thing looks like a time capsule, and man, is it in nice shape. Doing a quick walk around on the car, I did see, in fact, underneath, she did have a backfire. There is a blown out muffler right there. That is concerning. So what he did, he cut the exhaust off, thinking there was a restriction in there. So hopefully we can figure out why it would do something like that. But first, let's start with the basics. Air, fuel, spark. That's what we need to make our motor run. I'm going to get that air cleaner off and we'll start from there. Alright, looks like we got a Rochester 2-barrel quadrajet setup on this, which is most likely original. It also appears my buddy went ahead and did a tune-up to it, so that'll be in question as well. Did we get the firing order right? Is there something wrong with the carburetor? We'll start with the simple things and move from there. Factory AC car, which is nice. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way. Hopefully we're not removing valve covers and stuff today. I'm not sure yet. We will find out shortly. My buddy hasn't made it home yet, so he's not here to ask any questions. So I'm just gonna start with some basics. We got a battery hooked up already. I wanna make sure we got 12 volts to play with. We'll get my multimeter out. And he's got a tender on it already, so I'm hopeful that this thing is charged and is also a good battery. Let's just test that first. Help if I put it in the right mode. There we go. 12.83 volts, so that'll be plenty to play with for now. Good. I'm gonna check the oil, make sure it's got oil in it. Like I said, I have no clue where he left off on this thing. I don't want to be hitting the key on something that doesn't have any oil in it. So, step 2, let's make sure it's got oil, and also there's nothing in the fan area that's going to hinder us from starting it. So, come over here, and it is full on oil. It smells gassy but good. That should be good enough to get the thing going. So I don't see anything in the accessory area, like a ratchet or anything. Somebody was messing with something. I think the first step, I'm just gonna hit the key on this car and see what it's doing. Because without knowing what the issue is, without hearing it, seeing it, we really don't have a direction on it. So I think that's gonna be step 1. Yes, this thing is definitely too nice for me to be working on. That's okay, we'll fake it till we make it. Alright, car's in park. Give it a couple shots of gas. Okay, before we kill a battery here, it's turning over. I'm not hearing spark, so I think we're going to start there. I'm going to hook up an inline spark tester and see if we got spark off the bat. This thing being all original, it's a point setup, so that concerns me right off the bat. Maybe the points need sanded. Let's get in there. Okay, I have an inline spark tester hooked up to the front cylinder up here. I'm gonna go in and hit the key. Shelb, you keep an eye on this. You guys in YouTube world, keep an eye on that as well. What we're looking for is a flashing light right inside this globe right here. And that'll tell us if we got spark or not. So let's give that a shot. Did it spark at all?
Not that I saw.
Okay, looks like we're starting out without spark. So that's where we'll begin our journey here. First place we're going to look, I'm going to pop that distributor cap off and we will see what's going on underneath it. Alright, got the cap off, and as we can see, the tune-up continued underneath the radiator cap. There's a new rotor and what appears to be new points in there as well. So next step, let us bump the key and make sure that the cam that runs the points is in fact engaging, and also moving the points in and out. Alright, so I just sanded the points down a little bit. I checked the gap. It is pretty close to where it needs to be. We are going to see if we can get a little sparkle on the points or not. I got my daughter in the car and she's gonna bump the key for me and we'll see what happens. So go ahead, Shelb. Alright, we are still not getting spark. Let me do a little more sanding. So we cleaned the points and got spark, just checked for fuel. We're gonna hit the key and see what happens now. Go ahead. Okay, it fired off once. Let's see what else we got going on here. So we found a couple open vacuum ports here. I'm gonna plug those off. Let's hit the key again and see what happens. It's wanting to. Just off, yeah, off the pedal and crank, see what happens. Okay. We're gonna check for timing next, see if we're even any closer or not. I'll have Logan hit the key. We'll see where we're at. Yeah, one more time. All right. Why are we not picking up anything? Okay, what we did, we found a couple loose bolts on the base of the distributor and the carburetor was actually rocking back and forth, and that'll create an air gap vacuum leak and will prevent something from starting. So we got the carburetor base gasket tightened down. We're gonna hit the key. Let's see what happens now. Not even gonna bark off, huh? Okay. All right, how about now? All right, that didn't do it. We'll try something else. So we got updates. After changing spark for about an hour, checking compression, tightening base gasket bolts down, and anything else you can possibly think of. Spark plug gap, wires. The actual wires were pulling out of the boots, so I think that was contributing to our issue. When it came back, I hooked my timing light up and thought it was not working. So we hooked it up to Logan's 95 Chevy pickup truck just to test the timing light, and lo and behold, we had a working timing light. So that told me right away we needed to go back to spark. I took the cap back off and filed the points for the second time. And Logan, you ready? Fire in the hole, man. '72 Impala, here runs. See if we can dial in the timing a little bit. It's still not totally happy, but we're a lot closer than we were. Fire it up again, please. Go ahead. Okay. Try it now. So there you go, guys. 1972 Impala. Will it run and drive? It's on the road again. That car threw me a curveball. I didn't get to videotape half of what I wanted to. I was kind of getting pressed for time. It was getting late in the day. My oldest daughter was not feeling being there anymore. So I had some pressure going on in the background. I didn't get to videotape all I wanted to, but we did what we could. This is what I got for you. When I say it threw me a curveball, we had spark. Start out with your basics. Air, fuel, spark. Had all those components, so I was moved on to other things, trying to figure stuff out. In the process, in the midst of all that, I lost spark somehow. I got my timing light out and was not able to get it running, obviously. So I was attempting to get a rough timing setting, moving the distributor and looking at the timing mark. Lo and behold, my vintage timing gun I thought was broken. It was not getting any light. It wasn't doing a thing. At that point, Logan has a 95 Chevy pickup with a relative setup. We said, let's take this timing light out, throw it on that, and see if it works. We did that. Timing light was working fine. All of a sudden, light bulb went on. I don't have spark again. Pulled out the spark tester, and lo and behold, we are back to not having spark. Well, that was 2 hours after trying to figure out everything else with compression tests and why is it doing this, and the carburetor, the fuel needs backed off because it's just soaking these plugs, and I wasn't even thinking spark again because we'd already diagnosed that, figured it out, cleaned the points, and I was past that. Had to pop the cap back off and file the points again, got spark again, and lo and behold, it popped off and started running. But that wasn't the only thing. The guy did a tune-up to the car, and where the boots for the plug wires plug into the distributor, they snapped on okay, but you have to take an extra step and feed the wires in an extra ½ an inch so they actually seat into the distributor. That needed done on all 8 as well. I believe the distributor was a tooth off too. Anytime I've ever messed with a small block Chevy, you point the rotor to cylinder 1 and start your timing firing order after that. Well, number 1 was actually pointing to cylinder 2, it would be. I found out after doing that why is because the vacuum line would not stretch in the right direction. It would stretch too much when I went to put the cap, when I went to turn to the distributor and put it in time. Therefore, the guys, whoever timed it up the last time, had the wires off 1 notch. You get what I'm trying to say? Anyways, I think that distributor's off a tooth. It actually needs to be moved up and brought back down a tooth forward from where it was. We were able to get it in time, obviously, and so that happened. The 2 bolts holding the carburetor to the intake where the base gasket is. There was supposed to be 4. There was only 2, and the 2 that were on there were loose. There was also a tube coming off, and it had a vacuum leak. These are all little things that added up to one big problem with the car. After we figured most of that out, we tightened the 2 bolts that were there, told Logan he needed to get the other 2, get it bolted down, probably put a new base gasket on it, and then everything would get better. But we got it running. We got him to a point to where he can take back over on it, do the few things it needs, and have his car back on the road again. He said he wanted to take it to a local car show here in a couple weeks, so I think that's a possibility now. So we saved another one back on the road. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to try to get back in the regular loop of videos again. Probably get on that thing here real quick. I hope to anyways. I'm going to post an update on what's been going on around the shop and everything else going on in life. We will see you soon. Thanks again.